Speak welcomes prominent community members to speak about the most relevant topics in our communities. I'm Jet Martin. Nova Scotia has over 300 years of complex and exciting history of African Nova Scotian achievements and events. Nova Scotia also has a long history of racial discrimination and inequality. Trayvone Clayton is actively working to create a more equitable society for racialized people as co-founder of GAMECHANGERS902. I'm privileged to welcome him to speak about his community advocacy and involvement. Trayvone, thank you so much for your time today. It's a privilege to welcome you to speak. Trayvone, you are a co-founder of GameChangers902. On Instagram, it says, GameChangers902 is creating an equitable approach in the game of life for racialized people. Speak on what that means day to day for the people involved.
Well, as to start it off, as African Nova Scotians, we've been here for, like you said, over 300 years, honestly, over 400 years, to be correct. And we've been dealing with a lot of problems since those years, since those times. So as Game Changers, we felt it was time, especially as young voices, young adults, to step up to the platform as well, take on those challenges too, because it's impacting youth now to this day. So that's why Game Changers has made its step to the platform.
Thanks, Trayvone. Speak on some of the experiences and stories that influenced you and your friends to move forward with GameChangers902.
One was definitely street checks here in Halifax. That was going on for over many of years, 50 plus. My parents been through it, their parents been through it. Mm-hmm. Also, things like, I was street checked myself at a young age. It changed my thoughts of being a police officer. Justin Trudeau, I took on a challenge at Parliament Hill when I was there at a young age, and that was pretty wild. Like, I was just like, whoa, I did not realize that racism is everywhere. It's across Canada. Like, if it's happening at Parliament Hill, mm-hmm. that means it's clearly happening all over, everywhere elsewhere. The Black Lives Matter protests that took place a lot in Halifax, Nova Scotia at the time. I was, along with Game Changers, Dorico and Kate McDonald, Dorico Simons and Kate McDonald, they were along my side as well. We were all standing part in that. And there were parts where it made us feel connected with Nova Scotia, mm-hmm. all of Nova Scotia. And then there were parts where we were let down as well. So just coming up here, there's a lot of pros and cons, but I view it more of a pros than the negatives because it made me who I am today.
Thank you for that. We spoke last week, and we spoke just a moment ago. You told me about your community. Told me about your community when you were growing up. You talked about the Black basketball tournament, YMCA swims, church mm-hmm. dinners. During that conversation, you used words like connection and purpose. Speak about how that community has changed over the last maybe 5 or 10 years with the effects of COVID, redevelopment, demographics. How is GameChangers902 addressing those challenges and changes?
Just in general, all of communities trying to, reconnect and find their ways back to one another. Because we're not letting our bridges burn. We can't let that happen. But COVID did have a huge impact in isolating us from one another. Mm-hmm. But each year, African Nova Scotian Community Christmas Game Changers plays a huge part of that. And it's a way of bringing kids from across the province together, not just to shop, but also meet other kids from different community members of North Preston, East Preston, Yarmouth, Birchtown and stuff like that, getting them all to come into one another so that they can rebuild that bridge with each other, because that's what COVID did. It isolated us from working together. And getting involved with like schools is such a big thing, because when I was a kid, I used to go to St. Patrick's Alexandra School, and community was always involved. So when I seen community in my school, it was just making me a happy kid. I'm not saying the teachers weren't doing that, but mm-hmm. When I see more of people like myself mm-hmm. in my presence, I'm more comfortable. When I went to Citadel High School, my grade 12 year, Wade Smith was my principal. Man, I was so happy at Citadel because my principal made me feel welcome, made me feel comfortable. So just having that one person in your presence can make a huge impact. So, and just that's what Game Changers is looking to do. And just myself, and others in community, we're just looking to be in people's presence so that they know you have that support for you. Mm-hmm. So,
shout out to Wade and all the other educators who are making those differences.
Definitely.
Trayvone, we're going to big you up for a minute. You're a recipient of a lot of achievements. The Dr. Burnley Allen Rocky Jones Award. You've got your YMCA Peace Medal there. You've got a degree from St. Mary's University. You're a research project coordinator. You've got a family. Speak about where do you find the motivation, the energy, the drive to continue with Game Changers 902 and everything else?
Youth, honestly, youth in my community. They're the ones who really push me the most. My family, of course, my parents. I am a father now, so I do know parents are always 2 steps ahead of you, but that's what they're always there to guide you and be that support for you. But my community definitely is my motivation, man. There's a lot of gentrification happening around my community, and I'm not trying to let my community be pushed out. So what can I do to help make my community stay? How can I get my community involved? I took a step into politics. That's somewhere our community has to be involved. If we want to stay in places like that, or if we want to see progress and grow, we got to, like I said before, you got to step out of your comfort zone in order to become comfortable again.
I hear you.
And those are the stages that we have to go through in life. And it gets a little bit like sentimental, because it's like, we've been here for so long, but why do we have to continue to put up these fights to be treated like everyone else? You know, so for our community, that's another thing. That's what's motivating us, is our ancestors. They came here for years and years ago. So it's just, we got to keep pushing. We can't stop now. So can't stop.
You referenced Justin Trudeau. One of my questions, so it's 5 years after you received a face-to-face apology from Justin Trudeau for a racist incident that happened in Ottawa's Parliament buildings. So you've proven yourself, you can handle yourself one-on-one with Canada's top politician, the Prime Minister. Do you have political aspirations coming up, and how will experiences like Game Changers 902 help you as a future politician?
So honestly, handling things one-on-one wasn't something that I could do pretty well, you know. I thought I could. Okay. As to growing up as a man, you know, you think you can handle those kind of things as by yourself, but no, you got to handle those things with help and support around you. So that's what I truly did. I used the help and support truly around me. My friends, my family, they were the ones that pushed me to make me do that. And so I did that with their guidance, and it wasn't easy. It triggered a lot into my life at a young age, and then it's now just making sense to me of, this is what politics is. Sure. So I'm into politics now. It's truly teaching me the game of Monopoly, how to truly look at that board. When I grew up as a kid in our communities, we were just taught, you go around that board once, collect your $200, and you spend it right away.
Speak.
Now when I got into politics, you go around that board, you stop at go, and you realize, take a look, see what's around this globe, see what's around this planet. Take on those opportunities you already have that are out there for you. You know, I've been to Ghana, I've been to Romania, I took on opportunities to see different perspectives. You can't just have your own perspective growing up in life, you gotta view from different points. So just getting into politics gives you that kind of scenery. And when you see it in politics, it's just like, okay, now I see why it's in the society.
Gotcha. Okay. So. I've got 2 minutes left. I'm going to try and sneak in 2 questions. So your community, your home, directly descended from Africville. Speak about how that shapes your initiatives like Game Changers 902.
Africville, that was a big part of us in the African Nova Scotian community. And then when they made it into a dump and a waste, and they didn't give us access to any, water, we had to do everything ourselves. And after, when they took it away from us, they told us we would get our own land and stuff. Uniacke Square was one of them. That's rent. So it's just like, that's what Game Changers stepped up to do, is we talk for those things like that, New Roots, Trayvone Morton, he's in the community, he's big on things like that. Land initiatives, that's supposed to be for us.
Respect.
Talk to folks like Trayvone Morton, because they're standing on part of the North End. Respect. A lot of people in the North End didn't collect or claim Uniacke Square as a part of the North End when I was growing up as a kid. I learned a lot of that through politics.
When I post this online, I'm going to include some links to Africville story. We've got 30 seconds. I want to give you a chance to speak about the African Nova Scotian Community Christmas that's coming up. So I'll give you the last 30 seconds to talk about the ANS Community Christmas.
So it's December 20th. I'm looking to aim for 60 to 70 youth. Each kid will have $500 on their gift card. But the purpose is to collect the kids from different African Nova Scotian communities. They'll be partnered with mentors, and each kid will be partnered with different kids from different communities, so that they can
And I'll post a link to that as well.
So thank you.
Trayvone, thank you so much for your time. I'm very sorry to cut you off. It's been empowering to hear you speak. I want to have more conversations. We'll be back soon with more powerful voices and the stories that shape them. Thank you for watching. We welcome you always to speak. Thank you so much.